Welcome to the Bougie Black Brother Network. Good evening and welcome to Urban Lifestyle Cafe. I'm Michael, your bougie black brother, and I'm here with my co-host Alicia.
Hello.
And we're here finally for the blockbuster of the year right after the Black Panther, because they can't take that away from us.
Of course.
It's the Marvel Infinity War.
Dun 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 dun.
Dun, 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 dun.
Dun 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 dun.
So, I was looking forward to this once I found out that they was making it and how they was making it, because I'm the big Marvel guy and I've read all the comic books that had Thanos featured in it, and it was called the Infinity Gauntlet. But with all the Marvel movies put together, this was a great time for all of us, meaning me and my wife and a lot of my friends, to start talking about a comic that I read again. So, which makes it a little interesting because I'm a little more vested than my wife is. But as she's seen all the other the other movies, I really wanted to get her impact. We kind of talked a little bit, right, man?
Yeah, we talked a little bit because I was so intense watching it, and then it ended, and I was like, my mouth dropped. It was like, what the fuck?
Right.
No.
So disclaimer. So just be prepared. We always have spoilers in here. We always talk about the middle, the beginning, and the end, and what's going forward from that. So if you haven't seen the movie and you don't want to know about it, but you just want to review, this is not the podcast. Sorry.
Yeah, we did that when it came out. We was like, no. Well, normally I don't pay attention to none of that stuff, but Michael's like, I'm not reading nothing. I'm not reading nothing.
And when I didn't, I was totally surprised, and I kind of let you know how I was surprised, even though I did read the comic. So back to you, Alicia. So you came in knowing about the other movies. It kind of told you that's the blue guy that's going to be on there. A couple of the trailers showed him on there. So what was you expecting? Or you were just like, oh, let's see what this is going to be winding up from?
I just wanted to see. I mean, I watched, all the stuff that was on the TV, all the old Marvel movies. I mean, everything. And then to come and see this. So I was like not prepared to know what the story was really all about. But I remember you telling me and said, well, that one guy, the one villain,
Thanos.
Yeah, was in a lot of the other Marvel, and I did see that, and so I was aware.
But only
of
a little bit.
No, it wasn't a lot. It was, but
they
you
only showed him just a little bit.
Yeah, you knew he was there, but it wasn't like, it was like hints from other people who was using him or working with him. Yeah. So it was really good.
Okay.
It was really, really good.
So, as a novice in all of this, why did you think it was really good and not going toward the storyline? If you just look at it and say, hey, did you like this movie? You say, I like this movie because.
Well, the one thing was I was expecting all the superheroes to be together.
Yeah.
Okay, and it wasn't.
I think that's what everybody thought.
Right, and so that was a big surprise.
Okay.
And the thing is like, okay, so did they all know that they were all fighting him?
So let me ask. Was that disappointing though?
No.
Okay. No.
It was really, that was a good part of it.
Right.
That was really good part of it because what was it? Something of the Galaxies. What's
the Guardians?
Yeah, the Guardian of the Galaxies. Which I was like I was thinking he gonna come to Earth.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's like, what the hell happened? What the hell? Hey, let me get me a new phone or something like something like that. But it wasn't, it wasn't like that. And
you found out that he didn't know who the hell they were.
No, he didn't.
He shouldn't have though. Remember, he was in the universe. He wasn't on Earth. he left Earth and
Right,
never came
right,
back.
right.
So he had no idea
Yes.
who they were and what they were.
Right, he didn't, and that was a good thing too.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. You know, it's like out of because he thought that he thought he was like, I'm smarter than you.
Right,
I love,
right.
and I like the part that still have that comedy, that little.
So it
little
was humorous at times.
Yeah, it was a little
Yeah.
humorous at times. Where was it? I like that Iron Man and Spider-Man was with them. You know what I'm saying? Got to meet Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay. I got you.
You know, I like that. You know, I like the fact that
Doctor Strange was there too.
yeah, I love Doctor Strange, but my favorite is Captain America. He's
Of course, when he shows up, it's kind of like
I'm like
dramatic. He's just the coolest though.
Huh?
He's just the coolest.
Yes, he is, to be like back in the old age, and that's what I love about the characters. Each had their own history.
Right.
And the fact that Captain America came from the 1940s, and you know, and
Right.
and so you could see how he evolved in his personality, the way he looked, the way he dressed, how calm he was,
Yep.
and how he had his little, gang of his superheroes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That believed in his own beliefs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That
yeah.
was just so cool. Then you had Iron Man, which Iron Man was this arrogant asshole, but you saw how he evolved as well. You know, it's like, okay, we need some help. Well, okay, we're gonna do this. Okay, it's just that
Right.
kind of personality, and so. I mean, I love how they're doing it now. Maybe, like you said, maybe a good director, the people writing the stories.
It's the Russo brothers. The Russo brothers are amazing. So if you follow, I want you to finish though, but I wanted to inject this. The Russo brothers is the one who made Civil Wars, which is one of the top ones, as well as the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
Both, to me, the top two. Amazing of the Marvel series because they directed it. They make things so dramatic, like a regular movie, not a superhero movie.
Right.
And their influence you saw all throughout that. So go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
So then you had Black Panther coming in there, and then you see what's his name? The white guy with the arm.
The Winter Soldier. That was Bucky.
Bucky, yeah, and you see how Bucky had, the glow in his face, how he changed. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't this angry guy anymore. You know what I'm
Right,
saying? And
right.
then I like the fact that they took care of each other. No, Black Panther said, get Captain America a shield.
Yeah, go get this man his shield.
And I was like, yay! And so I really like that. Then you had what's his name? Not Hercules. Oh God. Thor. That shit, he was crazy as hell. He that motherfucker right there. I love how they do him now. When they did the first movie of him,
I know, but see, that was the problem. Thor really wasn't a really popular character. He was a god, but it was kind of like, is it too much? Is it? So in the early years, they kept with that with the other movies, and they found that people wasn't that interested in him. So when they recreated him with, what was the last one that they did? The last one, I was gonna say Armageddon, but it's not.
it's something.
It's something
with R.
Ragnarok.
Yeah.
Ragnarok. So with that, it changed who he was. That movie changed who he was. So when he was on here,
yes,
it continued from that.
I mean, I like that they made jokes in between. I was like, he's so much better. You know what I'm saying? He's just like, we're going to find the person who built the arm, right? He knew who he was. The hammer, right? So he went back. He said, I can't do it because such. And our boy from Game of Thrones, even though he was a midget, he was a giant midget.
Yeah, he was a giant, yeah.
I was like, he's a giant midget. He bigger than Thor. I was like, and I had to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, so that was pretty awesome.
Yeah,
too.
that was awesome. the story, the way they did it, they didn't put it. It was like, it made it seem that they were together. Um, it was a really, really good movie. It was really good.
So, what did you think about Thanos, the villain? What did you think about him?
What do you mean? What I think about him?
So he was practically a new character, even though you knew him. He was really a new character.
Yeah, he was a villain.
Okay, just a villain. Then.
Yeah, I mean, the way they did it, he was like so smooth about it.
Yep.
He was just really smooth.
So I'm glad you said that. So let me kind of articulate it. If you don't agree, maybe just tell me you don't agree. He was a villain that knew he was the best. He didn't have to worry about anything. So when he said, "Give me what I want," or "I'm just gonna kill you, and then I'll move along," or "You are gonna give me what I want, and it doesn't matter what you do. This is who I am." He was so powerful that he didn't have to let you know how powerful he was.
Right.
He was just powerful. And he imposed that on you, whether you liked it or not. Even when you thought you had him, he was either smarter than you or had something ready. He was just so powerful that he didn't have to be arrogant. Like, Iron Man was powerful, but he was arrogant. He was an asshole.
Yeah.
And like that. Hulk is powerful, but he wasn't as smart when he was the Hulk. And so all of these people had to kind of let you know that who they were. But Thanos showed up as the villain and was like, y'all all beneath me. Y'all ain't shit.
Yeah, you're going to give me what I want. And that's exactly what happened.
But I love that about the villain, because all villains always try to make you know that they're a villain.
Right.
He didn't say he was a villain, and he didn't want to be a villain. He wanted to correct the universe. He was like, it's just too many people in the universe. So I got to correct it. Nobody else is going to do it. I have to do it. He was that arrogant but powerful enough to say, as a matter of fact, I need to get these Jews together so I could correct the universe, and then I can go and chill. That was his purpose.
Yeah, that was his purpose.
He didn't want to be the king. He didn't want to be the master of the universe. He just wanted to correct the universe. And he was calm about his strength, which they wrote that in amazingly.
Yeah.
That's the reason why I ask. I asked with that.
Yeah, he wasn't arrogant. He was a villain.
Yeah. Well, what did you think about his relationship with Gamora?
The
daughter.
Yeah. Oh, wow. It was interesting. It was very interesting because when they told the story of what happened, I was like, that was some fucked up shit. And the way they did it, the way they did it, it was like, he's like, come here, and let me show you this. And he's like, show her this jewel, this jewel double-sided knife. And then while he was showing her it, you saw them shoot the people.
So half the people.
Yeah, half the people. Oh yeah, half the people. And I was like, what the fuck? It's like, and
she tried to turn around.
And he said, no. Look at me.
Yep.
Look at me. And so that was interesting because he adored her because she was just when you see her as a little child, you was like, oh, she's such an adorable child. And I think that
he saw that she was aggressive and she had no fear, so he loved that about her. So he wanted her to be like him, even though he had no family, because he killed his family. In the comic books, he's destroyed his planet. And just
that's what they show a piece of that in there.
He destroyed them.
Yeah, and then I mean, the other daughter.
Yeah,
I was like, he treated her really bad
because she was his favorite.
The other
Gamora was his favorite.
Yeah, Gamora was his
Nebula wasn't. Nebula was just another, because every time she did something wrong, if you remember from the other Guardians of the Galaxy, every time he did something wrong, he would like rip a part of her out and replace it with something.
Okay.
So she was half metal, half something else. So he kind of tortured her, but she could never be like Gamora. And which I like that they showed that, because that's in the comic book as well. So it just extended out of there as well. The injection of, I love the injection of Doctor Strange.
Okay.
Did you see that in there? Because the thing with Doctor Strange, he's as arrogant as Tony Stark's.
Right.
So they had a conflict with each other because of both of their arrogance. But they're so smart, and they know in their mind, they know what's right in their own minds. And I love to see them kind of competing against each other, even though they had one purpose together. Because remember, he was kind of like, fuck y'all. If it was against the Jewel or y'all gonna have to die.
Right.
Tony Stark's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
What's that all about?
Yeah. But he realized, because they eventually got step away from their arrogance. Yes.
Because they had to, because it was bigger than them.
It was bigger than them. And when with Dr. What's his name again?
Dr. Strange.
Dr. Strange was meditating, and he went back and he said there was no way out of it.
Only one.
Yeah, only one, which is for him to kill half of the universe.
So, no, he didn't tell you why.
No, he didn't. Well, I assumed that's what I was assuming.
No, so there was only one way to reverse what his intent was, because his intent was to kill half the universe, and then the universe will be balanced, and then everything will be fine. Because, like he said, there's no infinite amount of resources in the galaxy. There's no infinite resources.
Right.
So if you don't reduce the amount of people consuming resources, everyone will die. So in his mind, it makes sense to take care of half of them, then the rest of all the other people will live.
Right.
Which is still fucked up, because that means you killing people for nothing. Who are you to make that choice?
Right. And
he was so arrogant that he was like, I'm the one.
Yeah. And I was at first, because when I was coming to you, when I was ending, and I kept saying, okay. Did it know which people? You said, no, babe. The universe just picked out so many people.
Yeah. And just random.
Yeah. And I was like, because I didn't understand why the superheroes are dying, and you was like, no, that was just part of.
It was just random.
Yeah. It was just like that. I was like, okay. Because I just thought it was like, like I said, specifically doing it. But back to the Black Panther. That was just interesting how they brought them into it. So I like that part.
So why did they bring him into? Why did they go to Wakanda?
Because of what's his name?
Because of Vision.
Because of Vision. Who's Vision?
The one with the jewel on his head?
Yeah. Okay, so they brought Vision to him. That's right. Right.
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Why do you think they brought him there?
Oh, no. That was right. I didn't know that. I forgot about Vision. I totally forgot about Vision.
So why do you think they brought him there other than Vision?
Why
did they go to Wakanda other than Vision?
Oh, no. I thought they were going for the other Captain America's friend. But I forgot because they brung Vision there to try to take the jewel out of his head, to try to destroy it before what's his name, and
before Thanos gets there.
But honestly, truthfully, I thought they were going to be able to take the jewel out. They couldn't do it, but also
this wasn't enough time.
But also, what was interesting was how he came there and turned when they did destroy it. He's like, "Oh, please."
Yep.
I'm taking you back to the past, and I'm getting it for myself.
Yep.
That was just it. That was just.
It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. Because he just came out of nowhere. After he got what he wanted from the doctor, then he came there and got the jewels from Vision.
Yep.
I mean, so that was it. That was, and I mean, to me, I was like, okay, so now that you got rid of all the super, how the hell you gonna bring them back? And then they went to Samuel Jackson.
He disappeared too, though.
Yeah, but he had that little like what is
It was
it?
a pager.
Yeah, pager. That's exactly what it was.
So he paged some unknown thing with a symbol on it, which was interesting because I thought it was the Canadian symbol or maple leaf. That's what I thought it was. But it actually was just a star. So which they made it interesting from that. But yeah, so overall when you look at all of the Marvel movies, yeah, because we saw all of them. I know you saw all of them.
Yeah, I mean, this is what's interesting, is that you remember the old. I mean, I watch a lot of the old ones,
Yeah.
and they was talking about how they're making too much Marvel comic movies, and it shouldn't be. It's not that good. I mean, and we're talking about a couple of years ago.
Yeah.
Now we're looking at it. I'm not hearing the people say, okay, you're making too many of them. It's just one of those things that, is it too many of them? I mean, to me, it's exciting.
So they have hundreds of stories. That's the thing that most of these people don't realize, that they're not going to stop. There's just so many stories. There's so many comics. There's so many characters. There's so many versions. They have writers who rewrote some of the stuff that they have. There's different versions of the people that we see right now. There's other versions of them. There's conflicts that they haven't even talked about yet. There's so much in the Marvel universe that
don't even get
the movie haven't even touched yet.
I mean, we downloaded series of
And
different comic books from different. You said, baby, I need this series from this superhero from this. I mean, and
because they all
connect up, right?
yeah.
And that's what the movies, the old Marvel movies does.
Yeah.
Because when I was watching them, they were all in a different kind of sequence because they all were one, but they wasn't just like Avengers.
Right.
It was Avenger here, and then it would been
So there's West Coast West Coast Avengers and regular Avengers. So in the comic book they broke up, but there was just different versions of them. And there's another version that they didn't break up. But what they wanted to do, because they did the Civil War, when they did the Civil War, they broke up and Captain America died. So since Captain America died, it went into a whole nother series. The Hulk series is a whole different series where Captain America, Black Panther, Xavier from the X-Men, Iron Man, and Submariner, all of them sent, and Baxter from Reed Richards from the Fantastic Four sent Hulk away because he was just fucking up the earth. But they were part of the Illuminati, so they made a comic book called them Illuminati, which was fucking crazy. So you got these series that the movies are trying to condense into one or two movies to say, let's just stop with the small part and go from that. But
we're starting to see more TV series with more superheroes in it, more like Marvel and
because
DC.
People are wanting that. They want to see that because they're writing them now like they're real people, because the comic books started to write them as real people that have superpowers, and now you're seeing the movies and some of that. And I think that's part of the problem with DC. DC makes them superheroes. They don't make them real people who are superheroes. So DC is still caught up at, something that I can't be. You know what I mean?
Right.
I can't be a billionaire and be Batman. You know what I mean? I can't be Superman. I can't be Wonder Woman. Whereby you can be Spider-Man.
Yeah.
If I have a freak accident, I can be as smart as the Hulk. And then I may turn to Hulk.
Right.
There's people that you can be in Marvel. in what you call it, Aquaman. Can you be fucking Aquaman? Not if you live under the fucking water.
Yeah.
So they haven't used characters to relate to. So they're not doing that good
they
of a job.
accidentally become superheroes when something happens to them scientifically. Let's say it like that.
Yeah.
That can happen, and we can see that.
That's the mutants.
I mean, we definitely most likely happen now.
It can.
Yeah.
So maybe not to the extreme, but it can, and that gives some people hope that, hey, maybe I can get superpowers.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Even though it's kind of like, really, dude, you still thinking you can be a fucking superhero? Really?
Yeah.
But anyway, so overall, if you cut that all up, did it keep your attention?
Hell yeah! I was like, what? I was like, knowing it was 2 hours and 36 minutes.
Yep.
And I'm like thinking that it's not even. I mean, when it over, I'm like, it's not over yet. No.
Right.
I was like sitting, like we were in this movie theater has the most comfortable chairs. Oh my God. I mean, you can like lounge in them and like lounge chairs and lift up your legs and everything. I was like, I was not, I did it a little bit. I had to go back to sitting up. I would have
because you was so into what was going on.
Oh my God. I had my elbows on my knees when it was over. It was like, okay, all right. And I was looking at it and I was looking at Michael. I was like, I just could not believe it ended that way. I was so fucking pissed. I was like really, really pissed because I could not believe it did that. They did that to me. I was like, no, it's just no way. I kept asking you questions like, okay, I kept remembering. It's like, all right, so did they purposely do? And he was like, no. And I mean, so it was, oh my gosh. What can I say?
I'm just asking.
I'm just repeating myself, and I'm just like, I was thinking about it like every time. I'm like thinking about why now we gotta wait another year.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do.
I'm hating y'all.
So I'm wanted it because you're, again, as a novice who don't know the history of Marvel, but seeing what the movies brought up. To me, people like you are more, how would you say, more emotionally like, what the fuck? Why would you do this? And without having real answers. Because one of the things, I don't know if I was talking to you about it or anyone else, but a lot of the actors contracts is almost up.
Yeah, you told me that.
So since their contracts is up and they've been talking about their contracts is up, when they start killing people off, in your mind, it was like, oh, so they ain't coming back because their contract is up. Why would they fucking kill them? Oh my God. So you're twisted like, oh shit. So now they're going to start a whole new universe because everybody said there's a new universe. So it confuses so many people of why did you do this? This is phenomenal.
They're gonna have to pay them because they're making the money.
So no, they don't. It's not paying them. It's them saying they don't want to do it anymore. But now, because I kind of keep up with it here and there. But since Disney has new characters from the Fox, which is like the X-Men can be involved with the Avengers because there's a series of X-Men versus Avengers. And then there's Wolverine, who joined the Avengers because they needed him in special operations. There's a lot of crossover people that they were never able to do, and they're able to do. So it makes it really interesting. So for a person who followed the comic book and really what it was, Thanos is one of the most brilliant, smartest villain in the universe. No one really can kill him. He was killed maybe twice, and he was able to come back. That's what was so crazy. He put himself in the position that he can come back, and then at the time the universe made them come back. So I'm glad you saw the fact that, because everybody was impressed with that too. How could you have so many heroes on the screen and give them the time that they deserved? So what they did was they broke them off into smaller teams. So when you have smaller teams, you only deal with teams. So there was a team that went into space. There was a team that was in Wakanda. There was a team even with Wakanda, and they was prior to getting together, they were separated from there. Captain America and all of them was totally on some other shit. Thor was on some other shit. He left with Rocket, and he kept calling him a fucking rabbit, and that shit was funny as hell.
I know that was
But,
funny.
like one of the guys was saying when I was seeing a little preview, they said when you see this, you will now see that Thor is one of the most powerful Marvel characters in the universe, because when he made that new hammer, he's fucking phenomenal now. He looks and acts like a totally different hero, and now you see him as, wow, this dude is
Really, seriously,
fucking amazing.
yes,
So they recreated Thor in the movie,
yes.
which was really fantastic.
He was amazing.
They recreated Spider-Man because now he has his new suit.
Man,
so his
that
new
suit was bad as hell.
It's in the comic book. So even though, the extra appendages came out, it was in a comic book. So it wasn't something unique that came out. So they started using a whole lot of things that the comic book had, and start breaking it up.
Thinking about it, the comic, like you said, it's just so many parts of the comic book. I mean, it goes on for, years and years and years and years. So there was the possibility of trying to condense it.
You can't
compact it. It's them taking little bit by little bit from different parts of the comic book for them to make it the way it was.
Absolutely.
And I think that's for those people who are not comic book readers. For me, I know about comic book because of you.
Right.
And I probably know more about what some of the other people don't know. But the thing is that by them doing that, I understood why, because I remember some parts of Spider-Man where they gave him a new suit, but I also remember there was two Spider-Mans, right? So from what I've seen from the comic books, I didn't read it, but I seen enough of them to know there was two Spider-Mans. But the way they did it, I like the fact that they just brung things in to eliminate you finding the whole story about it along the way. Now you may see that story when they do a separate Spider-Man,
right?
Because it's coming from the Avengers.
Yeah, so he's the Spider-Man that you see now is different than the older Spider-Man that you saw on the older movies. So I think that was Peter Parker, the Spectacular. No, I think it was Spectacular Spider-Man. So these versions: Spectacular Spider-Man, Amazing Spider-Man, and Peter Parker Spider-Man, and then it was the Ultimate Spider-Man. It was so many different versions of that. So to make the storyline work, they chose certain things from the certain type of comics to put it in so it'd match up with the Avengers, which made it really interesting too. But I really like the fact of how they did the Guardians of the Galaxy and those characters. So they didn't even keep them together. They even split them up.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
They split the Guardians of the Galaxy up.
Yes, they sure
which was
did.
kind of like, wow. And then I like this too, which was really interesting, because both Guardians of the Galaxy kind of had small spots with Groot. And so he was like the cute one. They limited the amount of activity that Groot did. It was really limited.
Yeah, he was limited.
But it was still good enough to know that he was there.
But the thing was, he was a teenager.
Right.
And so I like the fact how they just moved him from the little one to a teenager, because that's how he was acting. It's probably exactly the way he should have been acting.
Yeah, as a teenager.
Yeah, less involved, more into
himself,
right?
Which he
playing
was playing
games,
the video games and
right.
stuff like that.
And I love that. I love that they said, okay,
he didn't need to be the center of it.
No,
this
he
was
didn't.
This was a
besides
serious
him giving
movie.
Thor
the handle.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So he saw that and he did that. But this was a very serious, emotional movie. I don't think any of the other ones tugged at your emotions like this movie did. And there was a lot. Think about it. There's a lot of Marvel movies, but this one, the characters so intimately that we did say spoilers, but when they killed Loki at the beginning, you was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
And then they killed Idris Elba, the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I said, damn, they killed him early as hell. And then they moved on. And you're kind of like, what the hell is going on? Mm-hmm. I was like, okay, so, they're dead. Who else is going to die? And then as you moved along and the characters start bringing themselves together, you see the love interest with Vision and Scarlet Witch, and how her power is a lot more powerful now. She's building on her power, which I hope Phase 3 shows how powerful she can change reality, because there's a whole comic series called The House of M that she changed the whole reality of people not even knowing mutants are in charge. She changed reality in everybody's mind, and no one knew that there was a history other than the one that she created. And she's that powerful and everything.
See, and this is, again, the comic books.
But
People are not knowing.
They can give you a version of that.
Right,
it may
right.
not have to be that vast, but they can create a version of that, because that was one of the great comic book series that they created. What I did find interesting, I'm not sure if I liked it or didn't like it, but the Hulk wasn't in it. The Hulk was only in it at the beginning.
Because Hulk kept on saying no.
Yeah, he kept saying no.
And I think that maybe the Hulk knew was going to happen, and that's why he didn't want to come out.
So I don't know.
Because what's his name couldn't. He
Bruce
said,
Banner?
Yeah, Bruce Banner was like, well, it eventually is going to take over me, but it
no, he controls it now.
Yeah, okay.
He kind of controls it, but the problem was this time he couldn't control, because the Hulk always wants to get out.
And for some reason, why I didn't want.
For some reason, he didn't want to get out.
That's why we need to see it again.
So, but here's a key. Comic books again. They split. So sooner or later, they're going to split, and there's going to be a version of the Hulk other than Bruce Banner.
Okay.
Because there's going to be a gamma ray split, and then there was, I think, Red Hulk or Gray Hulk, one of the two. So there was different versions of the Hulk.
See, that's
too.
again okay.
But again, you can go different directions in the Marvel universe because they have so many options. But back to what I'm saying, I didn't understand why they reduced the amount, and maybe because they didn't want it to be too devastating that the Hulk is all powerful. So what do you need all the other heroes for? Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I still think it worked without him. It wasn't a bad thing that he wasn't there, but it had some questions about it. Mm-hmm. But I love the fact, like to your point, they went to Wakanda and they was like, look, we need your help because there's no science that can help us to get this jewel out of Vision's head because they're trying to get this out of here. And he's like, I know a place.
But I love how Bruce Banner and Panther's sister.
Yeah.
Black Panther's love that part.
Because they scientists.
Yeah.
He was like, why couldn't you do this? He was like, because we can't. She's like, I can. And they have the technology. And now that they know that, now the Avengers are part of Wakanda now. Mm-hmm. Not just, who was it? Captain America. Mm-hmm. Even though he said we're opening Wakanda to everybody in the Black Panther, now the Avengers, or a portion of the Avengers, know about Wakanda and its technology.
Right.
So they're going to be leaning on them. And now you're going to start seeing different stuff too, which I thought was fantastic. And then you see all the people that's there, all of the warriors that's in Wakanda that was involved. It's not just superheroes.
Right.
His country was defending them.
Yep.
So that was a powerful moment too.
That was amazing.
So I thought that was a powerful point. But I'm very biased, and I asked you about Thanos because I think he, in the comic and how they did him here, I so respected how they did him. And if you watch even the graphics and the special effects, he didn't look clunky. He walked with ease. He didn't walk like he was a CGI character.
Yeah. The visual effects was amazing.
The way he was stepping up the stairs, it was like He was that
I mean,
huge.
I didn't even think about the visual effects.
Because they look natural.
Yeah,
didn't
I
it?
seen him. I was like, that is a villain.
And that's a big ass
And I
dude.
didn't think about looking around him, seeing if there's anything
But I
missing.
did, because on the earlier movies they kept him with armor on, so it hid a lot of things. But he still looked clunky. He didn't get up. His face wasn't even detailed enough. They did a lot more with the facial details, but his whole body looked natural, and the way he moved is exactly what the comic book is. He's very agile. As big as he is, he's very agile. And they showed it in the movie, and I was like, this is fucking amazing. Thanos is the best villain in the freaking universe.
So
and
he
they
never
showed him
dies.
that. Well, he dies. He does die, but he keeps coming back. So because it's either they needed him or he died for a reason but came back.
Okay.
So but they don't just defeat him. He's not defeated. He's normally either tricked or there's something that he missed, but it's not them outright beating him. And Hulk and him fought plenty of times. Thor and him fought plenty of times, and he fought against every fucking body, and it was just really amazing and everything. But there's a lot of people that fought against Thanos because he kept showing up on Earth.
Okay.
He kept saying because he wanted to destroy it anyway. But he got better and better and better. But the biggest portion, and the reason why I wanted to lead up into how I enjoyed so many different things is, in the end, his whole purpose was, in the comics, all the jewels were in other places. He didn't come to Earth and do that. It was only small places that he got it from, but he was able to pick them up. And then before he made a decision to wipe out half, all of the universe came to try to stop him. There was a lot more people than just the Avengers and Guardians. It was a whole lot of fucking people.
Okay.
So since they only created it in this Marvel universe, they couldn't add in any characters. But you may see characters in addition to on the next one. But back to the main point is, he wanted to wipe out half the universe so everyone else will be able to live. Because with the amount of people in the universe and the amount of resources in the universe, everyone won't be able to live.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I remember I actually said, so they have to have another Avengers so that the Black Panther can come out with their movie. And he's like, yep.
Yeah, it all will. So, and that's why I told you, the Jews, all the Jews do something.
Yeah.
And he showed you that the jewel that Doctor Strange had turns back time. If you watch the Doctor Strange movie, he turned back time in order to defeat Dormammu. He kept coming back, and they kept killing him. He kept coming back, and he killed him. He kept coming back,
and that was
him,
on the.
And he just kept.
And that was because of the
time.
jail.
Yeah, the jewel
yeah.
allowed him to do that.
Yeah.
So
that's why I was saying when we talk about when I was watching it on TV, they had it in certain orders for you to see how it came to this.
Right.
And that's why I was watching it, because I was like, oh, okay. Oh, Galaxy, the Guardian of the Galaxy got something to do with it? Oh, shit. Okay.
But they kind of had to.
Yeah. I mean, but
right.
I was just thinking about it, because that's, like I said, the way they did it. So
I think, speculation, because there's a lot of the people on the internet that can tell you better than me, but I think Doctor Strange said the only way we can defeat him is allow him to do it, and then get our hands on the jewel, and then reverse it back.
Yeah.
So now, when they do that, and you reverse it, will everyone be reversed or not? So that's the key. So another spoiler is Captain Marvel, which is the woman in the comic book. She was Miss Marvel. Then she changed to Captain Marvel because it was kind of like, why she call her Miss? But because there was a Captain Marvel before her, there was a man that was a Captain Marvel, and then when they gave it to her, she was Miss Marvel, and then she took the moniker of Captain Marvel. which is interesting. But I want to see her storyline, and her storyline is, I think, back in the 70s that they built it on. So hers will come out first, and then after her, then the Avengers movie is going to come out. So, and then when the following year, it will be Black Panther. I think Black Panther is 2020.
Yeah, you said 2020.
Yeah, it'll be 2020. So it's going to be after the Infinity Wars or whatever the Avengers title going to be. It's supposed to be an Infinity Wars 2, but there's no Infinity Wars no more. So that's why they didn't want it 1 and 2. I think they wanted to end it differently, and then let that all happen, and then finish it in the second movie. But I think they wanted to really fuck everybody up to think, oh my God, I just can't wait. I can't wait. Mm-hmm. So now there's so much anticipation for the next one, because you want to know who survived and how are they going to come back, if they're going to come back, and that's where it is. But you have to see Ant-Man and Wasp, because remember, they weren't able to get there.
Deadpool.
Well, Deadpool ain't in their universe.
Okay.
So they still in Fox universe. They're not part of this part yet.
Okay.
So even though they signed the contract, they don't exist in this universe.
So Ant-Man and
Wasp. Remember, they didn't.
Right.
They wasn't there.
Right.
Because they was under house arrest, and Hawkeye was too. So I don't know why Hawkeye wasn't there. That was weird too. But they said they was on the house arrest and they wanted to be with their families. So that's interesting to see where they're gonna wind up.
Right.
I think Hawkeye got hurt doing this too. One of them, he got hurt in. The guy who played Hawkeye. If I look it up, I can probably find it. But yeah, I really think he got hurt. So he probably is in 2 and not in this one. So they pulled him out of this one and put him in 2. But so you're going to see Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel in the next one, and they may be able to slide in some of the Fox people.
Okay.
For the next one, because they got enough time to do the editing and add them in. So I just thought it was even though I knew it could happen, I just didn't realize they would do it, because that's what happened in the comic book. But I really didn't. And this look how crazy this is. Since most of the heroes were on, they was on some planet he made. Because of the glove, he made a whole planet that they was on.
Right.
So most of the Avengers and all of these people actually came to that planet. So when he snapped his finger and killed off everyone, it had nothing to do with them. It was just any of the heroes that was on Earth, that's what happened to them. But most of the main heroes, it didn't affect them.
So Guardian of the Galaxy?
They wasn't there.
Oh.
They weren't. If I recall right, they weren't part of that. Because they have so many other cosmic heroes other than Guardians of the Galaxy that they were there. There was Warlock was there, and I'll give you an example of Warlock. Remember in the Guardians of the Galaxy, the gold people?
Yeah.
Warlock is part of them, and he had a jewel on his head.
Oh.
He had one of the jewels, so he took the jewel from Warlock because Warlock had one of the jewels on his head.
Okay.
So when they break off the jewels from the Infinity Gauntlet that he has on his hand, that's when you may see Warlock, which is really fucking cool because I loved him. I collected all of Warlock's comic books as well. He was very powerful. I used to draw him because they drew him in such a powerful way. But the gold people, his name is Adam. At the end they was like, we got a special person, I'll name him Adam.
I remember that.
Like, oh my God, Adam Warlock.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I remember that.
So I thought he would be on here too because I thought he would have one of the jewels on his head. So either he's not born yet or made, and then once the jewels come back, he'll get one. So that'll make that whole concept interesting too.
Okay.
So yeah, I didn't get a chance to fill you in on a lot of this, but it's going to be. And I just didn't think the writers would do this. I didn't think they would do it. I didn't think they would kill the people. I just didn't think they would do it. This is really dramatic that they would do it, though.
Yeah, this was very dramatic.
But in the comic book, they did it. But within the next comic book, they turned it back. So you knew that something
Remember,
had to happen.
that was a comic book.
I know. So, but a movie that says I'm gonna kill half your heroes
And then come back the
and
next
I'll
2
see
years.
you next year.
Yeah, next
What
year.
the fuck?
Yeah, next year or the year after. Yeah, exactly.
People get mad all they want, but guess what? They all gonna come back to find out
Fuck yeah.
who the fuck died or will stay dead and who will come back.
I'm sorry. I would be the first one. I was like, babe, I can't wait for you. You're going to have to take this day off for us to go see this on next year.
Yep.
Because I can't wait. No.
But we got to see Captain Marvel because you have to see what her power
Oh,
will bring.
definitely. So you know they're going to do a movie. That they definitely doing a movie on that, on
No,
her.
they should be finishing that up soon. So you'll start seeing her previews within the next couple of months because I think hers is going to be probably around as early as the Captain Marvel. I mean, Black Panther. Black Panther was February, so they may not be that early because they did Black Panther. Because
we never know because the demand for people wanting to see it may cause it to move. Like they did
because she's a
move
woman.
Yeah, and they did move up Avengers.
Yeah, they wanted to beat. They wanted the momentum from Black Panther.
Right. So let's not. Don't. Let's not.
So you never know.
We never know.
Yeah, I don't think they gave a release date though, but I think they're doing the last bit of editing
Here in Atlanta.
Yep. So they're doing a lot of that. So we'll see. So I know a lot of people are upset and they mad and say, how could they do that? And why did they end it that way? And so what? I think this was the best way to end it. I really think.
Either way, the movie was so good. It had. I mean, if it didn't end it that way, then I wouldn't see them. Why would you do a number 2 if you didn't end it this way?
Yeah, no, you'll do it too, but then it'll be a cleanup, and then it would just. But it wouldn't be as interesting.
This one was everything it needed to be. It kept your attention. I mean, it was like mind-boggling. I didn't want to miss nothing.
Yeah.
Besides going to a bathroom because it was 2 hours and 36 minutes, and you had to go. And
I was like, I couldn't fucking wait.
Yeah, and
so I said I've tried to think of the right moment, but then
there wasn't no right moment.
No, because I don't even know the conversation he had with what's his name with the dwarf.
Yeah, I missed that part. Yeah,
I didn't,
and I missed after that because,
Right.
and so that's why I was like, we have to go again to see this. But let's wait till everybody done go.
We can go whenever, baby. The
Yeah.
thing is, right now we go in the middle of the week, so we're fine.
Yeah, I really have to go see it again because it's like there's certain things I miss, and I want to just see it over again. I mean, I love the Marvel movies.
Yeah,
and
and
like I
and
said, and as I was watching it, it just got better and better and better and better.
So again, I'm gonna give it to like the Guardians of the Galaxy director I think it's James Gunn. He's fantastic. He's fantastic. So he got that covered. No one else needs to do Guardians of the Galaxy because he does it the right way. He knows the characters. He knows what should be shown. He's good with all of that. So he's fine. But I think going forward, I'm not sure even the Russo brothers will continue to do Marvel movies. I mean, they're good, but maybe they don't want to do this shit no more. But they don't have a lot of directors that did really, really good with these movies. They just do it the best. So they're gonna finish with that one, and now we know that Ryan Coogler can do the Black Panther movie, but he may not want to do that. And then you got whoever's doing the Captain Marvel. I think that's a female writer and director that they doing for that. I gotta look that up as well.
So we're talking about not just the actor's contract. We're talking about director's contract as well.
Yep.
So, yeah, that's interesting. That's very interesting. I would hope that they would at least do another, say, 3 of them.
Who's that?
The brothers.
Think about that. If they do 3, that's probably about 5 more years.
Yeah.
That's a lot of time. A lot of time.
I'm hoping that because if somebody else get it, they're gonna just make it just pray that they don't wreck it up.
Hopefully they won't break it that bad.
Yeah.
But so overall, what do you give it?
10.
Wow, give it a 10.
Yes, I'm sorry.
So based on everything, Uh, it's the best Marvel movie out. I have to give it a 10. It's the best. It's the best because it made me tie into the actual comic book, and the characters was fantastic. The way they didn't overpower each character, every character had their time without saying, "Damn, they didn't give what's the name enough time." Oh, what happened to Vision? What happened to? No, everyone had enough time to do something that wasn't not a love. You know what I mean? And the main characters stood out as leaders, and then you went from there. But, I thought it was amazing. It was the best Marvel collection out of the collection of movies. It was the best one.
I really enjoyed it. I mean, it was all my favorite characters. They did them justice. Everybody was a hero.
Yeah.
There was nobody who was not doing something to save the world.
The universe, not the world.
The universe. I just thought, I mean, they, like you said, how are they going to break it up where everybody is going to get some visual in the movie?
Time.
Yeah,
Get some screen time.
They did they did an amazing
job.
Yeah.
So, and I'm saying a 10 because of this, because of the movie, the type of movie. It's not because it was the best acting and
no.
It was the type of movie. It's overwhelming.
The storyline. The storyline was like trick. I mean, there was nothing that
it was set up fantastic.
Yeah. Yes.
So I loved Black Panther, but it didn't have all the characters that I wanted. So yes, I love Black Panther, but being a Marvel fan, this is what I wanted, and I can take out the comic book and say, you see this is what they put in. And then I think a couple of people missed that. Remember, he went to the planet and where he pushed Gamora off,
right?
Remember the person that was talking to them,
right?
You know who that was?
No.
Did you see the first Captain America movie?
Yes, I did.
Remember the Red Skull?
I don't remember.
It was he's one of the villains, the old villains. He's Red Skull. That was him. And
wasn't that the one in the TV screen with the glasses?
No.
Okay.
That's the Winter Soldier.
Okay.
I said the first.
Okay. The first
Captain
one,
America.
Captain America. Okay.
Yeah, the first Avenger.
Okay, I've seen it too. I just don't remember where.
The first one is when he grabbed the one of the Infinity Stones. He disappeared and he went away, and which made it really interesting because you never know where the fuck he went. But we find that he's on another damn planet, which was really cool. Because I was like, that looked like the fucking Red Skull. Or is that Death? I didn't know if it was Death, but his face was red. And I was like, that's the fucking Red Skull. And then I was like, maybe not. But then when he said, he was saying something like as an accident, and I was like, yeah, that's the fucking Red Skull.
Yeah, now I got to
find. So it went back to the first Captain America. So if you watch these movies, all of it brings it back to this movie.
That's why I said, I gotta go back and see the first one.
That's what makes this an amazing movie.
Yeah,
because even if some of the things that you missed in this movie, if you go back and see the old movies, you'll be like, oh, that's what that came from.
What I have to do is because I search for the sequence of movies to Infinity Wars, and they tell you what Marvel movie to watch in order to bring you to it.
Right.
So I have to find it and do it all over again.
Yeah, because all I remember is the ones that had the Infinity Stones. Anything that had any reference to the Infinity Stones, you have to watch.
Right.
Because the Infinity Stones had something to do with Thanos trying to get to it. Now, or using people to get to it.
Right.
Because he wasn't doing anything. He was using other people to get it. And then it was one of them, and I forgot which movie it was. He said, I guess I got to do it myself. And he slipped on the glove, and I was like, it's the Infinity Gauntlet. Oh, my God. But he said he's got to do it himself. And I was wondering, so how were they going to bring him in?
Right.
But he practically said, I'm fucking going to get the jewels on my own.
Yeah, that's why I said I have to find the sequence.
Yeah,
and
so-
start it now. Definitely, I want to see it from,
But you got to see it from him now, because if not, you're going to be like, who the fuck?
Right, that's why they did it that way. I said, okay, the sequence of Marvel's movies to watch until the Infinity. So I got to find it.
So, and this is good for you, because now as you see these movies, you're gonna go, oh,
Yeah, yes, exactly, and that's why I want to do it now again, because it didn't. If I watched it earlier, I didn't quite get it. Mm-hmm. But now you have to go back and see.
I knew from the beginning when they started trying to find these gems, I was like, these are the Infinity Stones. They go into the Infinity Gauntlet. And the Infinity Gauntlet is what Thanos has. And if Thanos has that, he's going to kill half the universe. If he kills half the universe, how is that going to happen? So I was looking forward to find out how they would do it. And they actually killed half the universe.
You know what?
And
when
which
he
was fucking amazing.
When he said, "Okay, after I do that, I'm gonna go back to my chair or whatever."
No, I'm gonna go and just watch the sunset.
Yeah, and he did
it,
and he just sat there and like nothing ever happened,
because that's what he wanted. His life was. That's what he wanted. He wanted to be calm. He wanted a life that he felt he accomplished something. In his mind, he saved the universe because no one else could do it. So he was at peace. And guess what happened? They came back and fucked with him and caused him to come back. He didn't want to come back. He didn't. But they made him come back in the comic books.
So
now we're going to see that.
I need to find the sequence, and then we can go back to see Infinity Wars.
Okay.
Yeah, because I want to know. I mean, it's several movies, but I at least could watch them. I'll find them, like me.
Mm-hmm. I got you.
But
but so 10s. I mean, I'm an easy 10, and it's really Black Panther made me proud.
Yes, it did.
I just enjoyed the hell out of it. The way they did it was fantastic.
They did an excellent movie.
Excellent job.
Yeah, but
this overwhelmed me because they actually did it like they should have done it. And I really didn't expect them to do it this way. And it worked out perfectly. Yeah. Even though some people just didn't like it because they didn't think they should have done that, or they should have not ended that way. So what? They got a method of what they're doing. So, good to go.
Yep.
Anything else, babe? Did we miss anything?
No, we didn't.
So, one of my favorite movies of the year, or the last 2 years, I guess, Avengers Infinity War, which is over, and then we get into something else. So, Urban Lifestyle Cafe, follow us on bougieblackbrother.com, Bougie Black Brother Network on YouTube. Go to iTunes for Urban Lifestyle Cafe, and if you can't find it there, just find us on the Bougie Black Brother. And all podcast downloads, we are everywhere. Spotify, if you stay on that and just want to hear podcasts, we are on Spotify. And just check everybody else out. If not, on IG as well as Twitter, Bougie Black Bro, BRO, and find BLK Woman on Twitter and Instagram. So see us next week. I'm not sure what else is coming out, because I think everything slows down, then it picks back up with
Star Wars
Solo. Yeah, Solo with our boy Donald Glover on there. That's one of the reasons main reason why I want to see it. And then Deadpool is coming up, and there's a couple of little ones there. Ant-Man is, I think, after Deadpool.
And then what's another one that we will...
Oh, Mission Impossible.
Yeah.
I think that's July though, so that's later in the year. But there's a couple of that's coming out that we'll be lining them up. We got to finish a couple of TV series on Netflix that I'm looking forward to doing.
Yeah.
So you got to see those.
Finish them up. There's a couple we need to finish up.
And it'll be cool and good to go. Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you next Wednesday on Urban Lifestyle Cafe. See ya.
Bye.